Hello everyone, this is Salim Shah. Today's topic is case processing workflow. Let's jump to the topic. Thank you. So here PV case processing. So in pharmacovigilance case processing. Here we would like to know about some fundamental because the people who are all watching this video might be having a fair idea about ICSR, that individual case safety reporting already. For this topics mainly focusing for some of the beginners who would like to start their career or already in the phase of learning curve of PV ICSR department. So here in PV case processing they use the term as ICSR. So ICSR, individual case safety reporting. So here in this concept, first we'd like to understand individual case safety reporting. Here only one patient is involved. These particular patients might be having a multiple events, as well as the patients, the particular patient might have taken a multiple drug. Here the whole purpose of this, a particular patient took some medication and he got some obnoxious or unintended response. That information has to be cascaded to the regulatory authority. This is the whole concept behind this ICSR. But which event to be reported, which are all the drugs got involved in order to the patient made uncomfort. These are all the events, these are all might be medications what this particular patient has gone through. So here the case processing team coming into picture in order to uncover all the details. Okay, as said in earlier previous videos, like if any case become valid case in order to become regulatory authority submission, it should meet some criteria. That is, as I said already, per. So this is just an code word, like per should be met, like product, and there should be a patient, there should be event, and there should be a reporter. If this meets this per criteria, so that case is getting eligible to submit to regulatory authority. If it is a non-valid case, for example, any one of the criteria doesn't meet, so it should meet per criteria, but any one of the event is not clear, or if it is not there, it will be remain databased in our company database. So it won't be getting eligible to submit to regulatory authority till they get the follow-up information. If they get some additional detail or any other follow-up detail, then again that case would become valid, and then it will go to regulatory authorities attention. Till then this would be served in our local database. So all the non-valid cases, they would be utilizing for some other signal and other purpose they will utilize till they get the complete information. So this is some basic fundamental about this about valid and non-valid cases. And the department, the ICSR department, usually if you can go to that particular department, there are some separate teams which we perform these particular ICSR case processing, like here data entry department, and quality department, medical review department, and regulatory submission department. So like this couple of department would function their own activity in order to meet the regulatory requirement. in order to meet the regulatory requirement. Some of the companies may have some additional department, but as a core, if you can see for any company, by default it would fall in this four criteria. So whenever their case, once they receive a particular case from any source, like as I said earlier in videos, like solicited, unsolicited, solicited, always it's a programmed information, or programmed data collection, we can say, like clinical trials or any other programs. If they conduct patient support program, individual investigator initiated studies, or any other orientation program, if marketing authorizations holder is conducting, it means a structured program. Based on the structured program, clinical trials or any other program, if the case is getting any obnoxious or unintended response comes, then those cases would be through solicited case reporting. And unsolicited, like literature or any other spontaneous cases, would come under this particular unsolicited you know criteria. So here the main action for these data entry, what they will do is, always they will perform the uh, you know uh, basic fundamental clearance after the triage. So as I said, triage in my last video, triage equal to SIR, as I said, if you see my previous video. So once this is being performed, they would go for full-fledged activity to complete. Here, as I said earlier, it would start day 0. For example, in this case, if you can say this is a fatal or life-threatening or any other serious case, based on that we need to meet the timeline. So this department, what they do is they go for cross-checking again for a complete data entry. So they would go for data entry, whatever the source document, the information is available, again they would cross check and they will enter the complete information in the safety database. And the second activity what do they perform is coding. So coding, again it's a different this could be another topic of interest of discussion that could be decided later. But for basic fundamental understanding, the coding will happen in two ways. One is event coding, one is drug coding. So usually the event coding would happen in by using the medra dictionary. Medra is medical dictionary for regulatory activities. And drug coding, usually it will go, can some companies will go for company dictionary or WHO DD drug dictionary. They would go for these kind of coding activities. And post that the activity would continue as narrative writing. So here it will can go for narrative writing or narrative generation. So usually nowadays some automation came into picture. Anyways, is also one of the automation and artificial intelligence, or so and so, how it trigger in after this 2022, how it perform, it takes its own role. Everything would be discussed if time permits in the upcoming videos. So this is about the narrative generation. And after this narrative generation, again one more important by this department is query, you can say query generation, or query request, or requesting for the follow-up information or so. So these are all the important informations what they will perform. Second thing is quality check. So each and everything whatever these people are this team is performing, again each and everything is being quality checked by this particular team. Each and every field is being quality check, you can say quality check, or they would be quality assurance. Each and everything they are assuring, because already everything has been coded. Now they are assuring all the informations, yes, whatever these things were done, it is being done correctly. So they are assuring the information. And usually in these two department, mainly the life science graduate, the eligibility criteria you can say, but actually it may not be topic of interest, but just for an understanding purpose, the company would usually hire for life science graduate, and usually for any other life science graduate, pharmacist, dentist, any Ayurvedic specialist, Ayurvedic doctors, PharmD. So those uh, qualifications, usually they will prefer to perform these two activities. And again, here is medical review. So the medical reviewers, the main role is again, they would cross check all the codings whatever we have performed, whether it is a event code or drug code, everything has been performed correctly, and whether the seriousness has been done correctly, as well as they would check for the causality assessment. Again, this would be one of the most important topic, like the causality assessment. Here, as I said before, the patient could have taken many drugs or many medicines, I can say, and he might have experienced, or he or she might have experienced many other adverse drug reactions. So here in this particular case, which medicine caused which particular event, whether there is a association between the medicine as well as the event, is there any association, that would be confirmed by this particular department. Finally, they would write a company comment. Here they will write a company comment, whether if there is a association, there is a plausible association, or there is no association, there is a likely, unlikely. So those would be written by this particular department. So that's how the medical review team takes a role here, and they would ensure about that information. And this particular department, finally, once it is done, they will log the cases. Here there is a log. They will log the particular case for a regulatory submission. And usually the qualification here, there should be a medically qualified person. So usually they will look after MBBS, Bachelor of Medicine, Bachelor of Science, after MBBS or above education profile. So for each and every activity, finally end with a qualified medical person. Here also everyone is qualified, so for each and everyone who performs the activity, but they have their own limitations. Finally, for each and every case has to be evaluated by any medical comment or any company comment has to be minimum from MBBS. They have to confirm that particular case before it is routing to a regulatory authority. That's how the particular team works on this profile. And the regulatory submission, again this team, each company have their own segregation of the department, but finally they will cross check the final end to end validation of this particular case, and they would check the correctness and completeness, everything. So they would check everything, and on that particular day they would routing this particular case to regulatory authority based on the timeline, because each product might have approved in a particular country. So for all the countries, this particular based on their regulatory timelines, so the cases would be routing to each and every country, wherever there is a marketing authorization, based on their respective timelines, the cases would be routed to that particular regulatory authority for further analysis and for further processing. So this is all about here ICSR. So the take home message, again usually we go for a take home message. So whenever there is a ICSR department, so the take home message is here. This is talking about individual patient. So this is main information, and this is called expedited reporting. So usually they will call it as expedited reporting. So there is a reporting criteria. So here in ICSR, what will happen, a particular department, whenever they are working, so each department would get different product and different cases from different therapeutic area. So that's how they wanted to expedite each and every case based on the seriousness criteria and the regulatory timeline. The cases need to be processed out. So here they would call again as a expedited reporting. That's the one take home message. And individual patient, only one patient is being involved in a in this particular scenario. If there are some bulk reporting and all, it is there, and multiple patients, if there are separate cases, individual cases is being processed. So ICSR is equal to, again you can currently you can think as 1E. So just for an understanding purpose only. Okay, so we can come up with some other video for other educational purpose. We can come up with some other video in another session in a. Hope this is clear. Thank you.